Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. In the last few episodes, we've been refining something internal. We talked about how peace can feel uncomfortable at first, how the nervous system resists stillness. We examined the subtle ego that wants to be right even when we're calm. And we explored strength without hardness, how to stand firm without becoming sharp. Today, we move into something that might feel even more unsettling. What if the love you practice, the steadiness you cultivate, the restraint you choose? What if almost no one notices? What if there's no applause? What if there's no visible proof that it's even working? This right here, this is where many people quietly give up. Not because they stop believing in love, but because they don't see results. We live in a world that measures impact by visibility. I mean, don't we? Every day. Views, shares, reactions, immediate change, clear outcomes. If it can't be tracked, it feels insignificant. But love does not operate on spectacle. It operates on influence. And influence is often invisible. When you choose not to escalate in a tense moment, the room may not thank you. When you respond with steadiness instead of sarcasm, there may be no acknowledgement at all. When you quietly hold integrity while others posture, no one may announce your restraint. But something happens anyway. Energy shifts. Patterns soften. The atmosphere, it adjusts. You may not see it, but nervous systems do. We are constantly affecting one another at a level beneath words. Tone affects tone. Breath affects breath. Posture affects posture. The person who refuses to panic can stabilize an entire group without ever delivering a speech. But here's the challenge. Because it's invisible, the ego doesn't get fed. And when the ego isn't fed, it begins to question. Is this worth it? Is this doing anything? Why am I the only one trying? That doubt can grow quietly. You might start thinking that if you can't measure the impact, there must not be any. But stop for a minute and think about your own life. Have you ever been affected by someone who never knew it? A teacher who said one sentence that stayed with you all your life? A stranger who showed unexpected kindness? A friend who remained calm when you were spiraling? They may have never known what they shifted in you, but something lodged. Something softened. Something recalibrated. The most powerful influences in our lives are often not dramatic. They're consistent. And consistency rarely makes headlines, if ever. When you choose love repeatedly, especially when it would be easier not to, you are participating in something cumulative. Not explosive, but cumulative. Explosions are visible, like very. Cumulative change, though, is subtle. It builds beneath the surface. It works underground. You may not see roots growing, but that doesn't mean the tree isn't forming. One of the most destabilizing things about choosing love consistently is the lack of immediate validation. If you choose anger, you get instant feedback. If you choose outrage, you get immediate reaction. If you choose dominance, you get visible compliance or pushback. It feels active. It feels effective. But when you choose restraint, when you choose steadiness, when you choose not to humiliate someone, even though you could, the room doesn't erupt. The world doesn't applaud, and it just, well, it continues. And that continuation can feel like nothing happened. But something did, guys. You interrupted a pattern. And patterns are powerful things. They shape families. They shape workplaces. They shape communities. They shape nations. Most people operate inside unconscious loops. From reaction to escalation. Reaction, escalation. When you refuse to participate in the escalation, you weaken the loop. Not dramatically, but measurably over time. You become a friction point in a destructive cycle. And friction points matter, guys, even if they're quiet, even if they're not noticed at all. There's a kind of maturity that accepts invisible impact. It says, I don't need proof today. It says, I trust that energy ripples. I will not abandon alignment simply because it is not dramatic. This is where love becomes disciplined, not sentimental, not dependent on reciprocation. Disciplined. You continue choosing it because it aligns with who you are becoming, not because it guarantees visible change. And here's something important. Invisible influence doesn't mean passive presence. It means grounded consistency. You still speak, you still act, you still draw boundaries, but you release the demand that the outcome validate you immediately. And that release is powerful because the need for visible results is often another form of ego. It says, if I don't see change, I've failed. But transformation is rarely linear. Sometimes someone resists you outwardly and shifts internally later. Sometimes a child absorbs your steadiness for years before expressing it themselves. And sometimes a conversation plants a seed that won't bloom until long after you've forgotten it. Seeds do not announce their germination. They work in darkness first. And guess what? Love often works in darkness itself. If you're someone who's been choosing love in difficult spaces, at work, at home, online, intense conversations, and you feel like it isn't moving anything, listen to me. Stay steady. You are influencing more than you can see. You are lowering temperatures you don't get credit for lowering. You are modeling restraint that someone else is silently studying. You are interrupting patterns that might otherwise repeat unchecked. And even if no one else changes immediately, you are changing. And that's not small, guys. The person who practices invisible integrity becomes internally unshakable because their alignment is no longer dependent on applause. They're not fueled by reaction. They're fueled instead by coherence. Coherence between belief and action. Coherence between value and tone. Between love and behavior. That coherence radiates, guys. It radiates outward quietly, steadily. And over time, quietly and steadily is stronger than loudly and briefly. If we are going to build a culture rooted in love, it's not going to happen through spectacle alone. It will happen through millions of small, unseen decisions. Moments where someone chooses patience. Where someone refuses to dehumanize. Where someone stays grounded when the room wants to combust. Those moments rarely trend, but they accumulate. And accumulation changes trajectories. So if you feel invisible right now, if you feel like your restraint goes unnoticed, if you feel like your steadiness is thankless, you are not wasting your effort. You are strengthening a thread. And threads, as we say all the time here, threads, when woven consistently, become fabric. And fabric becomes culture. Culture becomes reality. Not overnight, but over time. Invisible influence is still influence. And sometimes it is the most enduring kind. Guys, stay with it, okay? Stay with it. Keep making that tapestry that we're all part of. And I'll see you in the next one, okay? I love you guys very, very, very much. And you know what I need you to do, right? Go out there and pass that on, okay? Later, Gators. Bye-bye.